fresh off 100 yards a week ago. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Let's go, come on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. Pushing his way inside the 40. And now look at him go. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Nick Chubb, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And personally, what a start for him to get in the end zone from that distance here on the first drive.
And it has the defense tearing up their defensive goals for the game, doesn't it? Because nowadays, when we talk to all the coaches, they don't talk about limiting yards per carry and those things. They just talk about limiting explosive plays, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And anything an explosive play on the ground, usually, 10, 12-yard runs? This one was way more than that. They've got to go back to the drawing board and try and shut it down.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On second down, Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's man. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Green 39! Green 39! Gone!
He'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Oliver. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Julio Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. Boswell good with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
319! 319!
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
319! 319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Strong right! Strong right! No way! 58!
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
58!
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position?
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Lucky 56.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. On the left side, a catch by White. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Being chased out left. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, and his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Here's a give to Mixon. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how your guy's going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together, you know what he's going to do before he actually does it. On this play, that didn't happen at all, and that turned into a big loss. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have it.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Derek Rivers in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us down?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. In for the score. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A gain of 6 there on first.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
319 Banana.
Rodgers now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
319.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Charles Harris in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The Dolphins on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Fights him off. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at about the 32. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Room to run inside the 40. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. 1st and 10 at the 19.
319.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. This is caught with a catch right side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
319.
Rodgers again now. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. The left side completion to Jones. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The Dolphins on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll set up a throw. Looking for White on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 54 yards away. And Boswell's kick is good. So the 2 teams will head. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A handoff to Mixon. Look at the spin. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed. up.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
58!
On second down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
319! 319! 319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Minkah Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Charles Harris, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. 3rd down here. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Rodgers now to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. To mix it on the check down. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, no, he lost the football. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Dolphins on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 3. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
58.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay 1st. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league, totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
58.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And that is incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. A very solid gain of 27. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Tim carry now for Elliott. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They go to Elliott again. Spins past it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Gone! Here we go now.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost, it was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. Rodgers now on 1st down. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Here's Rodgers to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
319.
Now Rodgers going to throw again. It's caught here by Adams. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Rodgers again now. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers get a score closer. And he's got it up and through. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. So now here come the Dolphins. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now back to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home